Hello.
Hi there. So I'm Ryan. This is Emily Ann, and I'm one of the co-pilots with my co-pilot Dario. We run Flowmotion Entertainment, and with an awesome team of folks in Canada here, United States, Vietnam, India, Pakistan. Just an amazing group that's putting these games out there for you. And so I wanted to, as part of our company, you might have seen this, we've pledged 1% of our revenue to giving back to the community. And we've got an amazing partner here in Vancouver, Canada, called bpbuddies. And so we're helping them, and you're helping them basically feed hungry kids. So I realize that probably not many people actually know what they do. Maybe you haven't checked out their site. So I wanted to take some time to introduce you to Emily Ann, who started it all, and just hear from her, what it's all about. So Emily Ann, thank you.
Thank you. I'm excited to share our story with you.
Awesome. Yeah. Maybe you could tell myself and everyone, how did it all get started?
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually started Backpack Buddies with my mom, Joanne, and our sort of initial thought was we wanted to grow food for kids in the inner city in Vancouver here. Unfortunately, there was a little bit of bureaucracy and red tape, and that didn't work. And through that process, we spoke with some teachers at a few inner city schools and said, we wanted to build you gardens, and we can't do that. What else do you need? And the overwhelming answer was food for weekends. And so something we'd never really considered. But when you think about it, kids rely on school meal programs, Monday to Friday, breakfast programs, lunch programs, and snack programs. You hear quite a bit about those in the news, but no one really considers what happens from Friday afternoon to Monday morning. And so sort of as soon as that idea or that concept came to our attention, we decided that was what we wanted to try to help with.
Right, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot of food programs during the week, but then there's a gap on the weekend, yeah?
Yeah, and our motto or slogan, if you were, is because hunger doesn't take the weekend off. And I think that it speaks really clearly to who we are and what we do and the importance of it. If you spend the weekend with little or nothing and you come to school Monday morning, you're going to be really hard pressed to sit down in class and start off on a good foot. So, it's really important to us to make sure that these needs are being filled the whole weekend and not just Monday to Friday.
Right. I remember you telling me, what does that look like for these kids that show up Monday morning and they're starving, they haven't eaten all weekend? There's some, that doesn't turn out well.
No, it's really tough, and I think what happens a lot of the time is the burden falls on the teachers. The teachers are storing food in their desks, and the kids come Monday morning, and they either tell the teacher they're hungry, or the teacher knows maybe the circumstances at home for each child, and will sneak them a granola bar, and the teachers do it out of the kindness of their hearts, and that's if the school doesn't have a lunch or breakfast program. And so there's a really heavy reliance on that, and I think it's pretty unfair in a city like this where we live, and more can be done. So we're trying to do that.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys are doing some awesome stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, cool. And how does it all work then? The logistics of it. How have you guys set it up so far to support these children?
The logistics.
Yeah. It's not easy.
That's what keeps me up at night. So our model is really unique in that every backpack of food we deliver has been fundraised and packed by another child in the community for a child in need. So we approach donor schools, or what we call buddy schools, to support one of our inner city schools. So they hold fundraisers and food drives, and they physically pack the bags of food that we deliver. So we operate within 30 schools in Metro Vancouver right now, and we're feeding about 1,500 kids a month. So it's a really great kind of connection with kids that come from a place without much, and kids who come from a place of abundance, and using that teaching opportunity to show kids how they can make a difference right here locally. And
right.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I know it really struck a chord with my daughter too, who's 8, and her getting to think that she's the one that might be able to help connect with these kids. So you're really helping the kids connect with the other kids, right?
Yeah, and it's really empowering. And I think that giving is something, it feels good to do. That's just a fact. It's science, and you experience it, you're more likely to do it again. And so if you create that opportunity for kids at a young age to give, it'll build that sense of giving in them and empathy as they grow, and they'll be better, more compassionate people as they become adults and more mindful of the world around them. So That's super important to me. That's for me, our program, I believe that the act is as important as the result. So, the act of giving is just as valuable as the kids who are receiving the service. It's just a different impact.
Right, because the kids now at that young age, they learn that, the kids that are giving learn that as well, and that'll serve them into the future as well, big time, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's kind of a full circle,
right.
Whole giving process.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times maybe you could be making these donations, or you might, especially children, it might be hard for them to like be connected with it, or really feel the impact of what they're doing. So
I remember like several fundraisers I did growing up at school. Jump Rope for Heart's one that always comes to mind, where I remember I got to wear my gym kit all day and I jumped rope in the gym and ate orange slices. I had no idea until I was much older what I was going door to door raising money for, and so this is very real, and we take kids who are donating to the program to meet the kids that they're helping, and that connection brings it kind of even more full circle, and it makes it really real.
Right.
And it's, you're not just sending money off to Africa, or not that that's not completely valuable and worthy, but this is just, a different kind of experience.
Right. I think a lot of, even myself, right, like when I met you guys, I didn't appreciate what was going on in my own backyard, right? Like this is a problem just right here in Vancouver. You think that, it's an abundant place that we live, but it's just amazing to provide that connection for kids that don't necessarily realize that that's happening here. I think it's also easy to say, oh, that's over there, that's somebody else's problem, but it's like, holy cow, it's right here.
Yeah. So. Hunger is often thought of as something over there.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that's exactly it. And, for us, it's not a battle, but there's a hard, like a struggle for us is communicating just how bad poverty and hunger is here in our city, because it's often the sort of, you speak with someone about it and they're like, well, it can't be that bad here. Look at where we live. Look at the wealth. And, it kind of comes from like the ignorance is bliss. Like you don't want to admit it.
Right.
And, hunger has a lot of different faces. So, it's not always the World Vision commercial. It's sometimes a little bit more hidden, and it doesn't mean it's not there. It's just, you have to work a little bit harder to identify it and make an impact.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. And so, where everything's at, like where, from where you started, where are things at, and then what do you see as kind of where it's all going in the vision for the future here?
Yeah, so we started a little over 5 years ago now with the concept, and our first delivery, we did 20 backpacks on a Friday afternoon. And as I said, now we're up to about 1,500 a month. And the goal is obviously to expand and to grow, but sort of what I'm looking to work on now is basically building what would be considered like a franchise model of who we are, and shipping that to other communities where there's a need, and telling schools who want to fundraise for a school in their community, here's what you need to do, here are the connections you need to make it happen, and facilitating the growth that way. And province-wide and nationwide. I want to be wherever there's hungry kids. So slightly lofty, but I like it.
Great. You gotta have that. Yeah, I love it. That's why we get along.
Right.
We got lofty goals too.
Totally.
And making a big impact, and that's awesome. And I guess you guys have worked out a lot of the kinks and a lot of logistics, and really found a model that's working, and still, you're still working it out. So how do you then, as you say, bring that template to other communities so they can do the same thing?
I think when you build anything, it's you work to get to a certain point and solve all of these logistical issues, and then you get there, and then a whole new set arises when you grow.
Right.
And so we're constantly problem solving and adapting and looking for the right partners to help us get where we want to be. And so, the problems we had logistically 4 years ago are completely different than we have now, but that's part of the fun of it. It's never boring.
Right. Yeah.
Always.
If it was easy, everyone would be doing it.
Exactly.
Cool. I'm so grateful for what you guys are doing. And so I guess, one more question I had was like, how can, we help? I want to say we, I mean, us that are working at Flowmotion, and the like millions of people that have been so awesome to download, play our games, and, watch videos, buy in-app purchases. I mean, all of that today is helping you guys, but how can, what's the best way that we can help?
Yeah, well, I mean, locally here in Vancouver, it's really about getting more schools and students involved on the donating end. So that's really huge. So reaching out to us through our website, bpbuddies.ca, there's an email link there, and letting us know if you want to be participate. And the other thing is always dollar donations, we really can leverage that with our partnerships with Save on Foods and Overweighty food groups. So taking that, that $10 donation, that's what it costs to feed a kid for the whole weekend. It's really, closer to $23 or $24, but we can do it for 10. So contributing that way and, sponsoring a child in our program is huge. So that's all coming really soon on our website as well, which is exciting. People can come on and sponsor a child monthly directly for $40. And yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And play the game. And have some fun with it, of course.
Well, I mean, I feel like, so maybe someone's playing the game in, like, Sweden. Maybe you guys aren't ready to ship a template to them.
Yeah, but look locally in your community. Because as I said, hunger it has a lot of different faces. And it's, look around wherever you are and see where you can help. And kids in particular. I mean, kids are the future, as cliche as it is, and we have to work as a community and a society to give them the best chance at succeeding in life, and it's our duty.
With it, I'm as a father of two, Dario's a father of two. I've got another one coming. A lot of the people on our team also have kids or kids coming, so absolutely, we're all about family. We're all about the kids, doing what we can to support our own families in our community. Check out Backpack Buddies, their website. We'll post it here. Play the game, for those who aren't in Vancouver. As Emily Ann says, like, become aware to what might be going on in your town, in your community, how you can help there. Reach out to us if there's something you think we can do. And then, again, just by playing this game, by making purchases, even by watching the ads, I mean, that helps support what we're doing and help the company grow. The ads that you watch are also helping Backpack Buddies and Emily Ann and the kids in our community. So,
well, I just want to say thank you to Ryan and Dario, because from the very beginning, you've been really supportive of us, and a lot of great insight from both of you and how we can grow, and the logistics and all of that has been really valuable. Even as much as the dollar donations, and so we're super grateful for your ongoing support.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you for saying that, and it's our pleasure. We absolutely love what you guys are doing. It's our pleasure to help you guys with our time, with our company's time, with the donations from our players. So thank you for you and what you and your mom are doing and your team. And all right. Thanks everybody. Emily Ann, Ryan. Talk to you soon.
Take two.
All right, outtakes. I did want to take a second. Emily Ann, this is Ryan. Emily Ann's with Backpack Buddies. And Ryan, I'm one of the co-pilots of Flowmotion Entertainment, making super fun games for everybody that helps feed hungry kids. That's a big part of what Backpack Buddies is doing. I did just want to take a moment to show everybody. We're using a boardroom here that Emily Ann has access to, and this is Vancouver. You don't get much of a better view than this right now, and so I did want to just take a shot of this. There's the mountains, fresh snow falling on the mountains. Got the downtown harbor. So we've got big buildings, ocean, Stanley Park, snow-capped mountains that you can go skiing on. Go from skiing to the beach in like 20 minutes. Great place to live. Very grateful that we live here. Just wanted to share that.
Yeah, totally.